The Clinton River Trail has been around for quite some time. As a matter of fact, celebrating 20 years of being around in our local backyards. And it's not easy keeping this trail maintained and making sure that we can all enjoy a very safe and great trail. As a matter of fact, the Friends of the Clinton River Trail are solely responsible, one of the major responsible groups responsible for maintaining this trail and making sure we are all safe. And they recently spoke at the Sylvan Lake City Council meeting, and here's what they actually had to say about it.
The Friends of the Clinton River Trail continues to source volunteer hours and, in certain cases, money to help the cities with the important work that they do and the important investments that they make in the trail. And through your work and through your investments, you serve your residents, their neighbors, and the broader community so well by providing all of us a safe and healthy place to be outside, to exercise, and to socialize. The Friends of the Clinton River Trail celebrate that, and we genuinely thank you.
And we celebrate and want to thank the Friends of the Clinton River Trail also. And joining us right now is the Vice President of the Friends of the Clinton River Trail, a man that you just saw, as a matter of fact, Josh Eichenhorn, joining us on the Splash Live. Thank you for your time, Josh. I think we're having some slight audio issues with Josh as of right now, so we're gonna
Can you hear me okay?
try to get. Oh, yep, there you go, Josh. Can you hear me?
Oh, I said thank you very much, and thanks for having me.
There we go. No problem, sir. Thank you again for being here, taking time out of your day. Talk about what's going on at the Clinton River Trail. You had a moment last night, or I should say recently, to speak at the Sylvan Lake City Council meeting. Can you just talk overall about, the Clinton River Trail, the status of it, and then what you had to present at the meeting recently?
Well, the Clinton River Trail is turning 20 this year. 20 years ago in 2004, 5 cities that own the trail, 5 cities that worked over the course of years to acquire and develop this trail, signed a memorandum of understanding where they agreed to work together on areas of mutual interest for the trail, and get together regularly and talk about their agenda and plans for the trail to make sure we remain all coordinated. So the Friends Group considers this signing of the memorandum of understanding in 2004 as the official birthday of the trail. So we're turning 20. And we're having a party next month in May, on May 22nd. And one of the reasons why I wanted to go before the Sylvan Lake City Council, and frankly, the other 4 city councils of the trail owning communities, was to share this exciting news, remind them of the importance of the work that they do on the trail, and to invite them and frankly, everyone in the community to our party on May 22nd.
May 22nd. I got to make sure I'm writing that down right now because I want to make sure I'm there. I enjoy the Clinton River Trail. Someone who's new to the West Bloomfield area and the Sylvan Lake and West Bloomfield greater area, I'm starting to really hone in and enjoy and see and take in a lot of the great things that we have here, the nature trails, like we're saying, the Clinton River Trail specifically. I love the views right along the water. It's great right in the morning when you want to take a run or walk, just get some refreshing. I see you also do some biking also. 20 years though, 20 years. Just talk about the growth and the expansion of the Clinton River Trail and the work that the Friends of the Clinton River Trail has done throughout those years.
Well, so the work is ongoing. There's constant need for development. I mean, parts of the trail, technically aren't finished. There's amazing work going on in Pontiac right now to connect the trail. We currently have a temporary connector along South Boulevard, but to connect the trail. But there's also an enormous amount of energy, work, and investment that goes into just maintaining it. We recently worked with Pontiac and a little bit of Sylvan Lake to complete a resurfacing project. Parts of the trail had overgrown, and we had to resurface the part of the trail from Bagley to Bodette Park in Pontiac. And as part of that project, there was a reconfiguration to make safer the crossing at Pontiac Drive in Sylvan and Lake. So this is just a couple of examples of the continuous work that goes on by the cities who own the trail, along with the Friends Group that help encourage the cities to continue to maintain this, as well as help along the way with volunteer hours and sometimes money. It's an ongoing project. And Kevin, if I could, you talk about the importance of this trail to our communities. I will tell you, in the height of the pandemic, in 2020, I said to my then 19-year-old son, "Hey, Eddie, if you agree to join me on a bike ride across the state of Michigan, I'll buy you a really nice bike." He's getting close to college. He was going to need to ride around, and he agreed to do that. And it was really interesting because as we were preparing for that ride, we were also watching a bridge in a neighboring community over M5 go up. It was a pedestrian bridge. A lot of people know about it now, and they walk across it now. And as I was riding across the state of Michigan with Eddie in 2020, and we came upon this bridge, it hit me that if this bridge hadn't been built, this ride doesn't happen, and this special bonding moment doesn't happen.
Good point.
And then we came to the Telegraph Bridge, which is right where Sylvan Lake connects with Pontiac, and that bridge was also built not too long ago. It's, I believe, 2010. And if that bridge wasn't there, that ride doesn't happen. And then I started noticing little things like the park benches and the informative signs, and the fact that these surfaces that I was just talking about
Right.
were well groomed and well kept and well cared for. And it hit me that trails don't just happen; people make them happen. Communities make them happen. That's how I got involved in the Clinton River Trail organization, the Friends Group. But it's just such a wonderful experience, the ability to bond with friends and family, get out, exercise, be healthy. These trails mean a lot, and I really, really hope that people understand that, and they're welcome to get involved with our Friends Group. We can be reached at Clinton River Trail at gmail.com or through our website, clintonrivertrail.org. It's really important that people lean into this and keep taking care of this incredible asset.
No, 100%. No, you gave a mouthful right there too. Joining us
Sorry.
right now is the Vice President of the Friends of the Clinton River Trail, Josh Eichenhorn, talking about his recent meeting at the Sylvan Lake City Council meeting, and talking about their 20-year anniversary, by the way, which they will be celebrating in May. Yeah, you answered a lot of my questions already, Josh, but just kind of going back to elaborate on something that you spoke on. We already know that the city does their part when it comes to adding things and improving the trail, like you said, adding those overpasses, those benches and signs. But what about the actual community? Talk about the work that the actual community and how you all get the community involved to make sure they do their part also to make sure that it's safe.
Well, thank you. I mean, so safety is important. Safety is well, it's always been important, but to some extent, it's becoming more important with the advent. And these are in many cases wonderful things of e-bikes and things like that. People have to make sure that when they're using the trail, that they do so in a courteous and respectful manner. Slow down and say hello. It's a community asset. Be friendly with your community. Slow down and say hello. Don't run up the trail if it's a little wet. Maybe that's not a great day to ride a bike on the trail. So there's a lot of things that can be done to take care of the trail. But what I will tell you is the most important thing that people can do to take care of this trail is to use it, to love it, to nurture it, and to enjoy it. When we talk to people about what they can do for the trail, the first thing we say is get out, use it, and enjoy the trail.
No, that's well said. I mean, if no one uses it, it just eventually just turns into a dirt road eventually,
That's
or
right.
whatever the case may be. Just nature will eventually just take over right there. And I love the communication, by the way. I visited your Facebook page, the Friends of the Clinton River Trail, and I saw a post where I believe there was, and this was recent, there was a bicycle that someone left there. And someone it may have even been you. Someone posted a picture of the bike and just saying, "Hey, there's a bike here. Does anyone know where it could be?" And then different people were responding to give insight. But then it was ultimately like, "Hey, this is something that's here. Let's find a solution to get it taken care of to keep this clear for our runners." So you all keep a clear communication within the organization and the community. Can you speak to that also?
Yeah, it's an important part of what we do. So we maintain and we'll be continuing to maintain a Facebook page. We are on Instagram. We're on X, formerly known as Twitter. We have a web page. Through that web page, we have contact information for each of the city representatives, and we try to monitor these things. So if we see something going on that requires attention. And we try to either connect people or make the connections ourselves in order to make sure that, we stay on top of this trail. It's funny, you have a thunderstorm, and a branch, falls over the trail and the trail is not usable. Getting on that as quickly as possible is really important. And sometimes it's easy as just making a phone call to the right city employee in order to get that attended to quickly. So these are the types of things that we try to do. We also monitor a lot of the projects that are going on around and alongside and inside of the trail. We lend our feedback to the communities that are organizing these projects. So it is a lot about communication. So we try to maintain all of our social media connections as well as our website. And I'm always available by email at clintonrivertrail@gmail.com.
No, very important. That communication aspect. You'd be surprised because it's crazy because sometimes people's Facebook page is a lot more updated than their website. So having, that's because that's where people are. People are social on Facebook. So I completely understand making sure that communication via social media is important within the organization and with the people who actually follow you all too. Before we go, Josh, one more time, can you give a little bit more information in regards to the party, the celebration of 20 years of the Clinton River Trail on May 22nd, and just give any additional information you'd like to tell
I
the
would love
community?
to. So around the communities in the various community halls, hopefully in libraries and bike shops very soon, you'll see these little flyers with all of the details. We also have along the trail, as well as can be downloaded by PDF, a map of the Clinton River Trail, and the information, especially on this card about the party. But I will say it again, it's Wednesday, May 22nd at the Goldner Walsh Nursery on Orchard Lake Road in Pontiac. It's an amazing nursery and community asset, great place to get flowers and things for your garden. We've got two speakers that are coming. Todd Scott, who is the executive director of the Detroit Greenways Coalition and was very, very involved in the early days of the Clinton River Trail, along with Andrea LaFontaine, the executive director of the Michigan Trails and Greenway Alliance. Todd and Andrea will be giving brief presentations, but we're having a party and we're planning on having fun. Wednesday, May 22nd, Goldner Walsh Nursery, Orchard Lake Road. It's going to be in the evening. The exact time will be posted on our websites. Get out and use the trail. Enjoy it. Have a great time.
Precisely, Josh. And while we were just talking, I just thought of the fact that this trail, 16 miles long. So I'm just now learning this and seeing this. It expands, like we say, it goes through multiple communities: Sylvan Lake, Pontiac, Auburn Hills, Rochester Hills. Can you speak to how this trail can possibly contribute or does contribute to uniting all of these communities together? Like you said, going to different city council meetings and telling people about the work they've done and things of that nature. Can you speak to that, please?
Absolutely. Even yesterday, John Martin, when he was talking about, John Martin, who's the city manager in Sylvan Lake, was talking a little bit about the trail, was talking about the importance of the fact that these all connect. And Michigan boasts one of the largest rail trail networks in the United States. A few years ago, it was the largest. Now there's probably a little bit of competition, but the connectivity of these trails makes them very important. They're incredible for local recreation, but they're also incredible for larger adventures. My son and I rode 300 miles across the state of Michigan on the Great Lake to Lake Trail 1 that goes from South Haven to Port Huron. That's 300 miles, but it includes the 16 glorious miles that is the Clinton River Trail. Most of the trail is used for recreation and health, and that's incredibly important. But there are many people who use it as part of their daily commute to work. And so it provides accessibility. It provides transportation. It provides recreation to everybody, and so they're incredibly important, and it's an amazing demonstration of productive reuse of an asset. I mean, these were railroads. They were railroads, then they were abandoned railroads, and now they're glorious trails for all of us to use and enjoy.
That's always the interesting history to hear about trails. Some of them at least. They went from being like used, tracks for trains, logging things around, then like you said, abandon it, and then we repurpose that entire space into something that we can all use. Can you just tell us what, from your perspective as vice president of the Friends of the Clinton River Trail, as well as a user, what are your future plans or vision for Clinton River Trail?
So it's two things. One is maintenance. Is making sure that we stay on top of these trails and make sure that they don't degrade, and encouraging the relevant parties to make the important investments in helping them along the way. The second thing is, to some extent, completion. Whether it's the Clinton River Trail, Lake to Lake Route 1, or all sorts of other trails throughout our community, our county, and our state, there are parts that still need to be connected, and these connections are important. They make something wonderful, something magical, because of the power of connecting these trails. So as trails exist, maintenance becomes a bigger part of it.
Correct.
But there's also continued completion. The thing I would encourage people to do the next time they're on any trail, is especially, well, any trail, is to look at some of the details, pay attention, to realize that somebody put that sign there, somebody put that bench there. Smooth paths don't just happen; they get graded or loved,
That's
or
a
they get
fact.
repaid. So this requires a lot of continuous attention that sometimes goes unnoticed, and so notice it.
And that was a great point, and a great place to land too, Josh, because things just don't naturally happen. They don't. The trees and nature didn't grow that bench or put that sign there. That came from work in the community and the city. Thank you again so much for your time. Again, being joined by Vice President of the Friends of the Clinton River Trail, Josh Eichenhorn. Thank you again for your time.
Thank you for having me, Kevin.